Last time we tried to learn more about James Lowry and the Glynn family using civil records. This time we're going to look at the church records to see if we can fill in some of the gaps. As we know, civil registration for the entire population begins in 1864. A family history search before this time will depend on church parish records, and these begin at different times depending on the parish. While there are a variety of records in various denominations, including Baptist, Quaker and Methodist, the Church of Ireland and Roman Catholic registers are the most frequently used. For Roman Catholics, the penal laws resulted in, amongst other things, in a tendency for those records to begin around 1820. Records in the eastern part of the country, in urban areas and in cathedral parishes tend to be earlier, but few begin before 1760. Almost all Roman Catholic registers have been digitised by the National Library of Ireland. Church of Ireland records tend to start earlier than their Roman Catholic counterparts, and the records reflect the differences in structure in each parish system. Church of Ireland parish records cover smaller areas and are easier to search, while sometimes Roman Catholic registers might be split between multiple parishes. As the established church, the Church of Ireland retained the old medieval parish structure, and these were used as the administrative units of the state, so that civil parishes, the basis of the tithe collection, Griffith's valuation and early census, broadly match the Church of Ireland parish boundaries. As the Glynn and Lowry family were Roman Catholic, these are the records we will concentrate on, and these include baptisms and marriages. You can identify the civil parish first by using a townlands index, and we looked at this in a previous tutorial on civil records. You can also use an online source, and there are a number of these free to view online. Once you know the civil parish, you can find the corresponding Roman Catholic church parish and locate details of their registers. For example, Ballygaddy, the townland of James Glynn, is in the civil parish of Kilbannon, and we saw this on the enumerator's abstract, Form N, in the census. The corresponding Roman Catholic parish is Kilconley-Kilbannon, and records there begin in March 1872 for baptisms and 1872 for marriages. So, if your ancestor was baptised or married in this parish before this time, there will be no record of that baptism or marriage event. That's why knowing the corresponding Roman Catholic parish is so important. The National Library of Ireland has digitised its collection of microfilm records. And in October 2014, the library formally approved the making available of the images onto a dedicated free-to-access website. You can access the registers at registers.nli.ie. However, the National Library of Ireland database doesn't include a searchable index. So, in order to use it, you have to know the parish and, at the very least, the year of the baptism or marriage of your ancestor. Otherwise, you will have to spend time trying to read through each digitised image, and this can be difficult and time-consuming, as there are thousands of pages, and sometimes the writing is illegible, the ink faded, and some entries can be written in Latin. So what do you do if you don't know the place of origin of your ancestor? Well, you can still use the National Library of Ireland images, but you will also need a finding aid to help you locate your ancestor's baptism or marriage entry. FamilySearch.org is free to use, while other sites like Ancestry, Find My Past and Roots Ireland offer a subscription service. There is no one repository for church parish records in Ireland. In our case, we've already learned quite a bit about James Lowry and the Glynn family from our earlier search of the census and civil records. So if we wanted, we could go straight to the National Library of Ireland website and search for the corresponding church parish records. You might remember that Kilbannon parish records begin in 1872. So Patrick Dixon Glynn's baptism, for example, in 1866, won't be there. He was the son of John Glynn and Mary Diskin. Most of the family, in fact, will not be included, given the late date of these parish records. However, I know that Mary Diskin, James's grandmother, named on the census, was originally from Dunmore and not Kilbannon, and the church records for the parish of Dunmore for their marriages begin in 1833. We know too from the census that she was likely married in 1861, if not before, and not 1881 as she indicated. Using a finding aid then, I checked to see, and indeed she did marry, and located that marriage record date on the 7th of February 1859. We can now go to the NLI website and see the original digitised image of that marriage record. So we can go to the NLI website at registers.nli.ie, and in the search box we can enter the parish name, which is Dunmore, and it will give us all of the various options that we have, and we know that Dunmore is in the Archdiocese of Tuam. So these are all of the registers that are available for that parish. So we have the marriages from 1821 up to 29. We have baptisms from 1833 to 46 and from December 53 to 59. Baptisms again from 47 to 54, marriages from 33 to 60, and so on. So this is the option that we're looking for, because we're looking for a marriage record in 1859. So we can click this, and this gives you access to all of the digitised pages from the various registers. And what we want to do is filter that based on what we know. So we can click on this information. Under search event, we're looking for a marriage. The year is 1859. So we can scroll down and click that. And we believe that February was the month that this took place. And we can click apply. And the database actually brings us to the relevant page. And then depending on how poor the writing is, we're able to read the information. And we can zoom in and we can zoom out and we can do various different things. So unfortunately this register is not very clear. So we may have to spend some time reading through it to see if we can find out the information that we're looking for. We see here that this is the date of the 20th of June. So the marriage is obviously back here somewhere. You'll find in some registers that not only is the writing sometimes a little bit illegible, but oftentimes the parish priest slotted in baptisms and marriages wherever there was space within the register. So the events don't always follow chronology from January to December. So make sure you look through the full year of baptisms or marriages so that you can read all of the entries. Here in the corner is the church marriage record of John Glynn and Mary Diskin. Unfortunately, parents of the couple are not recorded, and this is quite usual on very early church marriage records. However, there is some additional information here. We can see, if we look very carefully, that Edward Higgins and Catherine Diskin were listed as witnesses to the wedding. Usually witnesses to weddings and sponsors or godparents at baptisms are close family members or friends. So it's likely that Catherine Diskin listed here, for example, is a sister of Mary. We could use our finding aid at Ancestry, Roots Ireland or Find My Past and see if there is a church marriage record for a Catherine Diskin in Dunmore, a possible sister of Mary. And this would provide further information about the family and the earlier line of James Lowry in Kilbannon. You can learn more about County Galway's local heritage by going to the website galwaycommunityheritage.org, where you can search the County Galway archive and browse through collections of local history and heritage material, including photos, documents, articles and personal stories.